Good morning, gentle viewers, and welcome to another edition of Uncle Bobby's Cybertronian Corner. Weekly announcements. Logan spent the night. David had a whole bunch of people over this weekend. The in-laws are going to the local Metallica concert. And Hero Garage is a great place to get your stuff fixed. Yes, I love you too. And Iris is being really, really affectionate today. So, your aunt is doing well. Very well. I did talk to Lizzie, and the Nugget is just fine. I will contact her sometime this week to check up on her. So, Lizzie and TJ are doing well with the Nugget. And Joshy seems to be doing quite well in his whole marine life. I'm not going to get into what he does in the Marines because it's nobody's business but his. Go Marines, go Joshy, stay safe, bud. Okay. Hey Iris, is there anything else? Did I miss anything? Huh? Oh, good girl. Okay, no, I don't think I missed anything. Neither does she. So, we're gonna take our notebook. Put it down here. We're gonna take a D6 and this card. And our choices are Wing Thing Grapple, Warpath, Shockwave, Galvatron, or Orion Pax. So, number 6, Orion Pax. Orion Pax. Now, there are a few adorations of Orion Pax. There he is. There is the G1 version of Orion Pax. There is the Prime version of Orion Pax. There is the comic book version, both Dreamwave and IDW, of Orion Pax. And of course, there is the recent Transformers 1 version of Orion Pax. The one I have is from the movie 1. I want the Orion Pax Alpha Trion Vector Sigma box set, mainly for Alpha Trion and Vector Sigma, but the Orion model is modeled after the cup, just like Dion, and I think I would prefer that version better on display than the one, but hey, I have an Orion, so I'm happy. I don't know why they gave the dual pack Ariel and Dion. I would admit it, Ariel and Optimus, but I think they were trying to complete the set because Optimus was already without Trion. But then again, Hasbro does that a lot. I bought Bumblebee and Optimus to get Robbie and Moto when Robbie and Mo should have came with Thrash and Twitch. If you want to put somebody with Bumblebee, put their father. You want to put somebody with Optimus, put their mother. Then you'd have all four Moto. But, whatever. Neither here nor there, whatever. None of my business. Comes with 3 accessories. Well, technically, as far as I'm concerned, 1 accessory, but these came separately. The little side stacks. So they're classified as an accessory because they can be plugged into his hands and used as guns. But his one main accessory is his axe. And then there's him. So, we're going to go through a brief IDW G1 Prime, and then we'll get into the in-depth one, because that's where he's from. Once I get the Legacy one, then I'll most likely go into a more in-depth version of G1. And when I get the second version of Optimus from Prime, I'll go into a more in-depth version of Orion's story from Prime. But right now we're just going to do a small history on the other 3. So IDW, he was a miner. He wasn't a data clerk or anything of that nature. He was a miner. He became a data clerk for Alpha Trion, not at the docks. And he was tired of the unequality. So him and Megatron got together and pretty much overthrew the government, but politically. They put Optimus in charge and Megatron felt slighted. Wait a minute, we were supposed to rule together, and he's like, hey, I didn't make that decision, man, they did. You're my best friend. Why wouldn't I make decisions without you? And he's just like, you betrayed me, blah, blah, and that's the first one. And then in the IDW comic books, he started off as a data clerk in Iacon City. It wasn't even for Alpha Trion, it was just a data clerk and a data clerk. He wasn't even a secretary to somebody important at that point. He just crunched numbers and made sure that stuff was where it was supposed to be. He was a glorified babysitter in the IDW comic books. And they pretty much went off the same storyline that DreamWorks did. Marvel centers around the G1 story, mostly. How he was a dock worker. And he was there at the Energon docks, sitting there making sure that everything ran smoothly, while Dion was, moving stuff here and there, and Ariel was, I don't know, maybe she was up taking care of the computer stuff. I don't know what a bike can do in a warehouse, except maybe security. Maybe she was security. I don't know. But that's pretty much what the three comic book companies did with it. In G1, he was a dock worker, and Ariel and his friend Dion were, working the docks. Ariel was up in the booth looking at fucking monitors and shit, and then she's just like, Orion, who's that? And he's just like, oh, it's Megatron, and blah blah. So don't worry about it. He's looking for somewhere to store uh, some things before shipping. It's what we do here, right? And she's like, yep. So she went back in her little booth, right? And he's all like, what do you what's this one stored? What is this one for? Oh, well, that's an energon deposit. There's over 1 billion energon cubes in there. Really? That's all I wanted to hear. Goes and pops Optimus, pops Dion, right? Ariel shows up, says, what are you doing? Pops her, right? Well, the Ariel bots got stuck back in time. They grabbed Orion and brought him to Alphatrion, and he turned Orion into Optimus Prime. Then they turned Ariel into Elita 1, and a lot of people think that Dion may be Ultra Magnus. I don't know. I think he was turned into Cup, personally. But that's neither here nor there. And that's the G1 and the comic book. The Prime, he was a data clerk. Worked for Ion. Under the Master Alphatrion. Sort of like DreamWorks. So the Prime kind of follows the DreamWorks section. Where he was not down at the docks. He wasn't a miner. None of that. He was a data clerk, and he compiled the information for relics and certain other things that they wanted to keep out of the Decepticons' hands. He knew where they were, and he kept tabs on everything, making sure they stayed where they were supposed to. And he didn't like the inequality either. So him and Megatron tried to, do the whole, hey, this is what's up, and they made him Optimus, and Megatron got PO'd, and there you go. Betray, 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 here's another war. From the DreamWorks comic book. The only one that doesn't follow a comic book is 1. And in the movie 1, they were miners. Now, yes, IDW did do that with the miner thing. However, they went off a completely different route. See, in the IDW comic book, Optimus and Megatron go up to the Senate and say, hey, this is what's going on, and we don't think it's right. Not Sentinel kills off the entire Prime line, leaving him the only one left. The matrix of leadership disappears. The energon fields start drying up. So they have to dig and mine for energon crystals to refine into energon so they can cube it up. And Sentinel's giving it to the Quintessons, of all people. And so Megatron finds out what's going on, actually finds out what's going on, and he wants to rip Sentinel in half. And he's not going to stop until he gets what he wants. Sentinel ripped in half. And then he finds out that 90% of the people down in the mines, their transformation circuitry, or their T-cog, has been removed from birth. As soon as they went from protoform to form, their T-cogs were removed. Then they were given energon infusions and woken up. So as far as they knew, they never had the ability to transform. And that was all Sentinel. Actually, I think that was more the Quintessons telling Sentinel to do it. This way they'd have less transforming bots to deal with when they actually came to take over. But that's an opinion. I don't know that for fact. That's probably what's going to lead into Transformers 2. And then before Megatron goes and blasts Sentinel, Orion gets in the way, and he says, "You can't do this. We can't start a new Cybertron with an execution." And he was just like, "You're either with me or you're against me." And he's like, "I can't let you do this." And so he just straight up blasted him in the chest and made him fall in a gorge. Well, the gorge landed, in the middle of Cybertron, and Primus said, healed, and here's a Matrix. Defeat him, and the energon will flow again. Well, he went up, and they fought, and he defeated him, and then the energon started flowing. But in the meanwhile, D whatever takes Megatronus's T-cog out of Sentinel after he kills Sentinel, and switches T-cogs and renames himself Megatron. Well, he gets away because Optimus isn't a killer. He doesn't want to be a killer. But then again, a good person doesn't want to be a killer. So that tracks. And then Megatron gets away. And that is the pretty much all in all about Orion Pax, as far as I know. Starting G1 episode 1 War Dawn. So that was season 1 episode 12 with War Dawn. That focused on Orion City. Yep, okay. And Prime. Yep. IDW, Marvel, DreamWorks, One. I didn't even have to look at the paper. So everything I just said is on the paper. So, now we're going to call you over. We're going to show you his transformation. And then we're going to give you the final thoughts and all that. So, as a famous, beautiful black woman says, come on over, baby. Everyone, the corner still is not 100% done, but mostly. Okay, there we go. Now, That's about all you can do in truck form. Okay, I'm gonna readjust that just a little bit. There we go. So yeah, that's what he does in truck mode. To get him out of truck mode, you do this. Separate the legs and bend them a little bit. Then you come down here to the bottom and you unfold that. Flip it out that way. Unfold that. Clip them in the back. There we go. Now, pull these down, because these are the arms. So, unplug it from this little, right here. Plugs in right there. Okay. Now at this point, you pick up the back and pull out the chest. Now, oh yeah, I forgot about that accessory. There is another accessory. He comes with a unique matrix. Because you see how it's like missing part of it down here? But yeah, that comes in his chest. I forgot about that. All right, well, we're going to put that back so it doesn't get lost. And then, okay, now, so this, where the matrix goes, folds in. These kind of fold up. Push that all the way up and then rock the head forward. See how that was? Okay. This was all down here. Take your finger here and push up. Okay. Fix the waist. Like that. Then you can take the top and turn it, and mine likes to pop off, but you just pop it back on. Adjust the shoulder. Honest. You just put your finger in here, press that down. Push the shoulders up into place so the shoulders connect into these little holes. Like that. And also point the pipes in the other direction. Alright. Make sure all of that is clicked in. Then drop the chest. Pick up the head. Snap his backpack back on, because that thing likes falling off for some stupid reason. Mine's just loose. I know what that is. My copy is loose. And like I said, as far as the camera angles and stuff, we're going with trial and error, because we really don't know how, you know, this one works this yet. But, so, here is Orion Pax completely transformed. And his articulation. His head is on a ball joint. So it can go way up. But that's due to transformation. So he can look straight up in the air. But if you look down there, you can see that it's on a ball joint. So it can go completely around a circle. This is a little tight. The arms can go completely around. They can go out. There's a decent bend with the elbow. And there's an elbow swivel. Not necessarily a bicep swivel. But there is this kind of like double butterfly thing for when he's in truck mode. So you can get him in some decent poses. His leg go all the way out to there. It can go that far back. That far forward. There is a thigh swivel and an awesome bend at the knee. There is no ankle anything. Now these stacks, like I said, can come off and become a pair of guns, or come on, I got this the other day. Maybe it was the other hand I did it with. Anyway, in one of the hands you can make it a double gun, or you can hold it as two regular guns, or you can put them as his smokestacks. And then you take this and you put it there, and now he has his axe. And that is Orion Pax from the Legacy series in version Transformers 1. I like him. He's okay. He's decent as far as, that goes. Once I get the other Orion, I'll probably put him in the background as the Optimus version. Because honestly, he looks more like the Optimus than the Orion to me. But he was listed as Orion. So for now, I'm going to keep him as Orion. And I do like him in the collection. He works as far as I'm concerned. And I can't wait to get the trio kit, the box set. So, my final thoughts, 3 things. 1, I wish they would pick one storyline for Orion Pax / Optimus Prime, but I'm not in control of Hasbro, so that's that. Second, I love Star Wars or Transformers. Sorry, I've been watching Star Wars lately. I love Transformers, and I think they're cool. And 3, Uncle Bobby loves you. So, with that being said, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for spending time with me. And until next week, later.